Hello everybody, welcome back. We're here in Anguilla, my favorite place in the world, and we're here today to look at the new NVIDIA driver 555.99. Take a look outside, make sure there's nobody out here to kill or maim. Let's crack the throttles. Right engine, good start. Oil pressure is good. Mags to both. Left prop is clear. Good start. Oil pressure is good. Mags to both. Let's start a cover. And I did some flying to rebuild the caches, got the caches rebuilt, and I was all set to release my review of this driver this morning. And then I went to shut down everything as I was getting ready to upload the video, and I realized that I had my VPN on. I don't think the VPN adversely affects performance. In fact, I think it might actually help performance, generally speaking, in the sim. But as I did not have a completely vanilla, so to speak, scenario, I just didn't want to release the video without knowing for sure whether the VPN had any impact on what I had seen. Takeoff power is coming in. Takeoff power is set. Engine instruments are in the green. Airspeed is alive. 70 knots. And let's go flying. Alright. Weather vane into the wind here. Beautiful day in Anguilla. When is it ever not a beautiful day in Anguilla? Well, I suppose that's not entirely true. Here's the thing, I'm running VSync, which cuts my frame rate in half, and I'm also running FrameGen. So my monitor refresh rate is 60. So as you can see, I'm showing 30. Well, all that's happening is I'm getting 60 frames per second, and VSync is cutting that to 30. So all you're going to see this entire time is 30, which is part of the reason why I just don't. I don't know. I just don't see the point. It's not that important. As a matter of fact, it's going to do that weird jittery thing because of FrameGen. So then, now that I have explained to you why it's not important, I'm just going to turn it off because all it's going to do is show you 30 the entire time. And I know people are into frame rates, and I understand why. If you don't have a sufficient frame rate, I can understand that's something that is concerning. If you do, I just think smoothness is the thing. It's the thing. Gorgeous day. So what I did was I updated the driver. I didn't do a clean install, I just installed it through the NVIDIA app. The NVIDIA app is now also updated, the beta. Then I went and cleaned out, I went into safe mode and cleaned out all my caches, DX cache, computer cache. I can't find the GL cache, I don't know if it exists anymore. If it does, I can't find it. And I've not heard from anybody else who's been able to find it. So, and then I went and did the disk cleanup trick and cleaned up whatever it was in there. There's another cache in there. Cleaned that up. And so it was a fresh, fresh driver. Clean install, not clean install as in using, the clean install setting, but rather just cleaning out all my shader caches and everything like that. And then I came back into the sim and did a couple ATR flights just to give myself some flight time to build up the caches again. And then I did 2 flights in this airplane, the Islander, for testing, for potentially releasing as a video. Alright, mixtures and props full forward, fuel pumps are on, flaps are set, seatbelts are secure. We're going to trim for 80 knots here. Looks like a little bit of maybe a left crosswind, which is a tad unusual for Princess Juliana. It's also a shifty wind. I'm using realistic turbulence. I think both realistic turbulence and the weather, the live weather, has changed a lot, and I don't think Asobo has told us about it. I think they've made some significant changes to both. Yeah, it's a little gusty. You see that windsock down there. I think they've made significant changes to both, and I don't think they've really said anything to us about it. So we'll bring some power back. Keep an eye on that airspeed. And once we get down about here, we start pulling the power out and start leveling off. Feeling for it. And it was alright. It wasn't even alright, it was not great, but that's okay. Trim forward a little bit. One notch of flaps up. Our fuel pumps are on. Bringing in the power. Takeoff power is set. You want to take about 2 seconds to go from idle to full power. All sorts of good information here today. Yeah, I don't think Power Channel. Philipsburg, the capital of Dutch St. Maarten. Cool town, really, really cool town. Great boardwalk. Yesterday in the exact same spot. Exact same spot. So now I'm glad I did this. So remember how I told you I wasn't going to tell you how the test went yesterday? I'm going to tell you now how the test went yesterday. I had 99.9% of the time it was completely smooth. No issues whatsoever. None. Exactly in that spot yesterday, I had exactly that happen. I mean, exactly that. And the pause, as you could see, as we just experienced there, was like close to 10 seconds. I was sure, I was doing the video and I was absolutely positive the sim was going to crash. I've never had the sim pause for that period of time and not crash. Given the fact that the same thing happened in the same place in 2 days, I don't know whether it's specific to that location, or we'll see, because yesterday I got a couple of those. Yesterday I got exactly that pause, and then I got a couple small, very, very small stutters. So, let us see. I almost want it to happen again, because I'll believe that it's probably associated with the location rather than the driver. A little bit of a pause right there as I move my head. Well, I would tend to believe absent any other issues, and we you haven't had any on this flight, that was location related rather than driver related. So we're just gonna go back and drop into Anguilla here and be done with it. It's hard to say. I don't know. And 80 knots. Jeez. That was called running out of energy right there. Guys, that was some terrible flying. So, we're back in Anguilla. Here's what I'll say. I think this driver is fine, but there have been some stutters. I had that same huge pause 2 days in a row in the exact same place there in front of Phillipsburg, which makes me think it's location related, but I can't be sure. But other than that, on today's flight, there was absolutely no stutter, no pause, no nothing other than that. So I tend to think it's related to that spot, but I can't be sure. So my recommendation on this driver has to be, unless you're an early adopter and you like just updating for the sake of updating, I would probably stick with what you have if what you have is working. I'm gonna keep running this because I want to see how it does. And I don't think that if you do load it, you're gonna have huge problems. I don't think, but I cannot give it an unreserved approval at this point. So take that, for what it's worth, and it's what I got for you today, guys. I hope everybody's doing well, and we'll talk soon.